Mind blown, again. The Good Place returned Wednesday night with a special 1-hour Season 2 premiere, and it needed every minute of it to put its main characters through the ringer once again following Season 1's big reveal that the Good Place was actually the bad place. Only this time it was Michael, Ted Danson, who seemed to be tortured as he attempted to replicate his plan from the first season but was met with terrible results. In the end, Michael opted to start over again by resetting things and erasing his subjects' memories, leaving us to wonder where the show will go next, because at this juncture, anything is possible. To find out where the series is headed, we got the Good Place creator Mike Schur on the phone to ask him what's ahead this season and what the actual Good Place might look like. You started off the season by resetting the reset from last season's finale. Where the fork do we go from here? Mike Schur: well, the idea was at the end of Season 1, Michael begs his boss for a second chance. He says, okay, you can have one more chance, but if it falls apart again, you're done. This is over. And unbeknownst to Michael, while that was happening, Eleanor, Kristen Bell, was sending herself this big clue, which was a note to herself in her own handwriting that said, "Find Chidi, William Jackson Harper." So that was a smudge on the lens of this. Do you remember the movie Real Genius? This is the analogy we use. So in Real Genius, they're trying to build a super laser, and Val Kilmer's nemesis sneaks into his lab and smudges this mirror with grease or something, and then when Val Kilmer tries to demonstrate this amazing laser they built, it blows up. We're like, okay, that's what this note is. This note is a smudge on this sensitive piece of delicate equipment that Michael has built. And it's going to cause everything to go haywire, so it does. Who knows whether Michael's new plan would have worked to torture all these people, individually at first, and then later to have them torture each other, because before it can even be tested, Eleanor had this crazy clue that was a domino that was knocking down all these other dominoes. Now I'm just mixing metaphors here willy-nilly, sorry, but the lens was smudged and the whole thing fell apart. But in Michael's mind the idea was, okay, I know my boss said I only had one chance, but come on, man. This isn't fair. He didn't get a real shot, this was an aborted launch of this rocket ship. That's 3 metaphors now. At the end of the premiere, he considers that a false start, and he's going to try one more time. So episode 3 is the next thing that happens now that he has decided to actually lie to his boss and try one more time. How many chances can he get? Sure, well, you'll have to watch episode 3 to find out. Episode 3 answers that question very specifically. The larger issue isn't how many chances can he get, but what happens to a guy who is lying to his boss. He digs himself a very deep hole at the end of the second episode by starting this lie. In the fine tradition of all of the great Ponzi schemers and liars and crooks in history, Michael tells a small lie that will snowball and become a larger one as time goes on. If the question of Season 1 was why is Eleanor in this place? What is the question that Season 2 asks? Sure, Season 1 was sort of saying, can a human being who isn't a very good person actually learn how to be good? Which, as it turns out, is a crucial concern in ethics. I didn't know this, I sort of stumbled into it. There was a lot of debate about whether you can try to be good, and whether the simple act of trying to be good nullifies the potential to be good. This is widely debated, I understand about 5% of the debate. That was what Season 1 was about. Is it like Alcoholics Anonymous? It is a fake it till you make it kind of deal where you just exhibit the behavior even if you don't fully believe in it, and after a while you look up and you're just doing it. Or is it impossible? Does the very fact that you need to try, does that mean you're not a good person? So Season 2 is saying, well, let's say it is possible, let's say Eleanor became a better person in the first season, let's say they all did. What about a demon? What about if you're a pure piece of evil whose existence in the universe is to torture people? What about that guy? Is it possible for that guy to change? What happens when that guy is put through the same rigmarole that Eleanor went through in the first season? So that's what begins to happen in future episodes. It becomes a little bit more of Michael's journey, and then there are other big things that happen along the way. Season 1 was largely told from Eleanor's perspective, and later from the perspective of Tahani, Chidi, and Jason. Now that we're seeing things through Michael's eyes, How does that change how you write the show? Sure, well, it's really fun. Ted Danson was performing,